and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you my vintage sewing haul as well as a couple thrift store fabrics I found. So the other day I was at my parents' place and I was talking to my mom. She had this retro sewing kit full of notions and she told me to go through it because she will never use it. She's not much of a sewer. She's never going to use it. She doesn't sew clothes. She more just mends things and makes the odd little project. So she asked me to go through the sewing kit and take what I want. So I ended up with a whole bunch of stuff, let me tell ya. Give this video a thumbs up if you always tell yourself, I need to use up my stash before I buy any more fabric. I know girl, it's a problem. Fabric addiction is a real thing. Tell your husbands, we need to start a group. I'll bring the wine. Anyway, so that's how I ended up with all this. And then yesterday, my grandma and I went to Value Village because I was looking for some rain boots for my boy. And of course, touring around because I didn't have the kids with, and I found some fabric. They actually had a pretty big selection there and I limited myself. I wasn't even gonna buy these ones that I did get, but I couldn't pass them up. I'm taking this opportunity to film this video really quick while my husband is out with the kids. So it's gonna be one of the rare videos where they're not screaming in the background or crying or fighting or yelling or singing, dancing, whatever. This is just for me, guys, today. I should be sewing. I have so many things to get done. I just wanted to film this video really quick so I can get the stuff put away because I'm so excited about it and I just have to share it with you. So let's see what I got. Okay, so most of what I got is buttons. I just love vintage buttons and I mean, look how pretty these are. They're just so pretty. One of my favorite things about vintage sewing supplies is, and this goes for all kinds of vintage stuff like bakeware and stuff like that, is looking at the packaging. This stash that my mom was her grandma's, so my great grandma, and she was an avid sewer. I don't know, it's just something about vintage stuff that really makes me happy. And the price is always hilarious, like 29 cents, and this, I think this was 9 buttons. Guys, could you imagine paying 29 cents for 9 buttons? Holy! Here's another really cool packaging. This one is red to match the buttons, and honestly, I don't know if I'll ever use red buttons, but I had to take this. I really did. I like looking at the branding, see if I actually recognize any, like this Woodcrest, I don't. These Lady Fashion, I didn't until I noticed the bottom says H.A. Kid & Co., which you know, if you're a sewist, if you buy sewing supplies, you know that you recognize that name. So it's really kind of neat. I really like to look at the packaging when I'm picking out vintage sewing supplies. So this is something kind of along the lines of buttons, but it's cap-ons, and these honestly I will probably never use because I have so many in my stash already, but this is one of the things I just had to pick up, I just had to take home just for the packaging. And my mom actually had a few of these in the stash and I only took one. I can always go back because when my studio is finished, I plan to have a cute little display for all my vintage sewing supplies, which I really regret. When we downsized, I got rid of actually quite a lot of it. I kept some that I was really attached to, but a lot of it I did get rid of and I really regret it because now I want it, and that usually is what happens when I purge. But anyway, I really had to get this because I just love the packaging on it. It's really nice and crisp and it's in really good condition, and it's something that I do use. I don't use the caps. I don't use cap-ons because they all come, as you know, they all come as one piece now, but I do still use snaps a lot. And yeah, this packaging is just so cute and I love the yellow on it, and the words are just awesome. It says, with exclusive floating ring, no sewing required, just tap on. So I guess this must have been innovative, I'm guessing. I'm guessing they had a lot of just sew on snaps, which you can still buy today, but as you know, the snap-on ones are way easier. And this you would have had, oh, you didn't even have a tool, look at that, you just used a thread. Ha, a spool of thread. So I guess you just used a pencil and a spool of thread, and I'm guessing a hammer. Yeah, a light hammer. Or heel of shoe. Oh my goodness, do you see that? That's hilarious. Ah. Or heel of shoe, because you know, ladies back then, if you've seen the memes, they were always sewing in their high heels and dresses, not half naked like we usually do. A lot of the reason I pick up vintage stuff at garage sales or from family members is because they're just so cute and funny. So I got a whole bunch of buttons. This case here is full of buttons, and I actually grabbed the case not for the buttons themselves, but just for the case. I like these cases for my plastic snaps because I have such a selection. But there's some really cute buttons in here too, like these little hearts. And then this is full of buttons, and this is full of buttons. Just some regular elastics, some wide stuff, cording, and then tiny stuff. Be careful when you're looking at vintage elastics because a lot of the times they are worn out, but these were actually still in really good shape. So I was most excited about this lingerie elastic that I have some cute stuff to use now instead of just the regular elastic. So I'll be experimenting with that. And this is something I've seen elsewhere. It's not new to me. Not sure what I'll do with them. I just had to pick them up, and I might try them with, you know, with some pretty panties, or I don't know, we'll see how stretchy they are, or if maybe they'll just be decoration in my display. And I took all the laces that were in the stash because I use drawstrings on quite a few things, so these will be great. Look at this one's like the same color as the table. Can you guys even see that? If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I really do not need to be stocking up on zippers because I have an entire gigantic tote of them, but I couldn't help myself to add to my collection because these are brand new, and I always seem to be needing zippers for something, and this is going to be great to add to my stockpile. Last but certainly not least are these vintage threads, which seem to have my heart even if I'm not actually going to use them, because I've heard a lot of experts say we really shouldn't be using our vintage threads just because they're not great quality anymore. They break down over time, but still had to grab them, brand new, and they were a brand that I know is Coats and Clark, or they just used to be Coats, I guess. And this tiny little spool was $1.40, and then this is a Coats as well. So I don't know if I'll be able to get the logo. Oh yeah, you can see their Coats and the emblem, and this is just a teeny tiny little thing, and there is no price on here that I can see. But I just love the little wooden spools. I actually have a pretty good collection now. So that's it for my vintage haul. And then, yeah, as I said yesterday, Grandma and I were at Value Village, and I picked up some fabric. So the first thing I got was this swim knit, and again, it's not something I really needed. Do we ever really need extra fabric? But I could not pass it up. It was $4 for 1 yard, y'all. It's gonna be great for little girl swimsuits, my daughter, or nieces, gifts, or even if I decide to sell some little swimsuits. So pretty excited about this. This was something I just couldn't leave there. Today is actually 4 days before my surgery. When you guys watch this, I will have already had it. If you're following me on Instagram and Facebook, you know what's going on with that. And so after my surgery, I'm gonna need some new shirts and stuff, and I thought this would make a really cute plaid button-up shirt. I'm really excited to make myself something out of this when I'm feeling up to it. And this, I really don't know what it is. It's not cotton, not 100% cotton, but it feels like maybe a linen or something with a bit of rayon in it. And there are, wait for it, 3 yards here, brand new, and I paid $6. $6. That's $2 a yard, y'all. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you also love finding vintage sewing supplies. And another reason I really like vintage sewing supplies is because it just reminds me that sewing is such an age-old art, and the way we are as sewists today, you know, if you're in Facebook groups and all that, you know what I'm talking about. The way we all connect over something so amazing and beautiful and fun is just the way that ladies would have lived 50 years ago. And it's just something they had to do. It's just something they did out of necessity, and they were able to create beautiful things for themselves and their families. And I'm sure there were ladies back then too that had huge fabric stashes and just loved going fabric shopping and picking up extra notions like my great-grandmother did with all these buttons. I mean, you never know when you're gonna need a button. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.